Yeah, let's discuss about Python programming. As part of Python programming, we have divided the whole subject into below points. Like we'll briefly discuss about introduction and then go to the key features and syntax and variables, and then control flow and looping, functions and modules, then some libraries introduction, and then we'll conclude. It's a very short and crisp discussion about the Python. Python is a versatile and popular programming language known for its simplicity, readability, and versatility. Developed in the late 1980s by Guido van Rossum, Python was inspired by several programming languages including ABC, Modula 3, and C. It was first released in 1991 and has since evolved into a mature and widely used language. Python's design philosophy emphasizes code that is easy to understand and write it. Uh, it uses indentation and white space to delimit code blocks, which promotes consistent formatting and makes the code visually appealing. Python provides a comprehensive standard library with modules for various tasks, reducing the need to write repetitive code. The language's English-like keywords and intuitive constructs make it easier for developers to express their ideas in code. Python's dynamic typing system allows for flexible and concise programs. It has gained popularity in web development, data analysis, AI, and machine learning. Overall, Python's simplicity, readability, and extensive ecosystem make it a preferred choice for developers across different domains. Coming to key features of the Python, Python is a popular high-level open source and interpreted programming language that supports multiple paradigms such as object-oriented, procedural, functional, and imperative. Here are some of the features that make Python stand out. Easy to learn and code. Python has a simple and expressive syntax that makes it easy to read and write. It also has large standard library that provides many built-in modules and packages for common tasks. Free and open source. Python is freely available for anyone to use, modify, and distribute. You can download it from official website or use online platforms like Ripley or Google Colab, like Anaconda, like anything. You can also contribute to the Python community by sharing your code or feedback. Portable and cross-platform. Python code can run on any platform that has a Python interpreter installed, such as Windows, Linux, Mac OS, etc. You don't need to change your code to run it on different machines. Dynamic and flexible. Python is a dynamically typed language, which means you don't need to declare the type of variables or functions. It also supports multiple programming paradigms such as object-oriented, procedural, functional, and imperative. You can use the best approach for your problem without being constrained by the language. Uh, GUI programming support. Python can create graphical user interfaces using modules like Tkinter, PyQt5, XPython, etc. These modules allow you to create interactive windows, buttons, menus, dialogues, etc. for your application. That's all about key features. Python syntax is designed to be clean, concise, and easy to read. Here's a brief overview of Python syntax and variables. Python uses whitespace and indentation to define code blocks such as loops or conditional statements. This indentation-based approach enhances code readability and enforces consistent formatting. Variables in Python are dynamically typed, meaning they can hold values of any type. You don't need to declare the type explicitly. It is inferred from the assigned value. For example, you can simply assign a value to a variable like x equal to 10. Variables can store integers, floats, strings, lists, dictionaries, and more. Python supports standard arithmetic operations like addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division using symbols like plus, minus, star, and slash. It also provides other useful operations such as exponentiation with using two stars, and modulo is the percentile. Python allows you to define and call functions using the def keyword. Functions are blocks of reusable code that can take parameters and return values. Python supports conditional statements like if, else, and else if to perform different actions based on the certain conditions. It also has loop structures such as for and while for iterating over sequences or executing code repeatedly. In Python, you can access elements in a list or string using square brackets, and dictionaries use key value pairs enclosed in curly braces. Slicing allows you to extract the specific portions of list or strings. Overall, Python syntax promotes code readability and its dynamic typing makes it flexible and concise. These features contribute to Python's popularity and ease of use for both beginners and experienced programmers. Python control flow and looping are the ways to execute different blocks of code based on conditions or repetitions. Python has three types of control structures: sequential, selection, and repetition. Sequential is the default mode where the code runs from top to bottom. Selection is used for decisions and branching, where the code runs depending on the outcome of a condition. Python has three types of selection statements: if else, and if else if else. Repetition is used for looping, where the code runs multiple times until a condition is met or a break statement is encountered. Python has two types of repetition statements, for and while. Python also has three types of loop statements that can alter the flow execution within a loop: break, continue, and pause. Break terminates the loop, continue skips the current iteration, and pause does nothing. These are some of the basics of Python control flow and looping. A function is a block of code that performs a certain task or group of related tasks. You can define your own functions to avoid repeating the same code or to make your program more modular and readable. Here are the steps to define a function in Python. Start with the def keyword, give your function name, list the parameters in parentheses, end the header with a colon, write the function body. Leave an empty line after the function body. Python functions are blocks of code that perform tasks. You can define your own functions using def parameters and return. You can call functions using arguments and get return values. Functions can be built in or user defined. Modules are files that contain Python code. You can import modules or objects from modules using import, from, and as. Modules can be part of libraries or packages. There are various libraries in Python. NumPy is a library for fast and efficient operations on arrays and matrices. Pandas Pandas is a library for data manipulation and analysis with data structures such as data frame. Matplotlib is a library for data visualization with various types of plots. Django is a framework for web development with features such as ORM, URL routing, template engine, etc. Flask is a micro framework for web development with minimal and flexible features. TensorFlow is a library for machine learning and deep learning with various types of neural networks and tools. Pygame is a library for game development with features such as graphics and sound and inputs, etc. So, like this, there exist many various libraries we can explore in the Python programming. Python is an important programming language because it is easy, versatile, powerful, platform independent, scalable, in demand, and has a large community. Python can be used for various applications such as data analysis, web development, machine learning, etc. Python also has many frameworks and libraries that enhance its features and functionality.